Yo guys, what's going on? Got a Cherubimon hybrid purple deck profile for you guys. There is a bunch of awesome cards coming out in the BT7 set, and I really enjoy this dude right here, Cherubimon. He's the main boss monster for the deck, so I'm going to be showcasing you guys this deck profile, as well as some gameplay, just showing you guys the deck in action. But yeah, so Cherubimon is just a really cool boss monster. He, on Digivolve, you can just play a purple Tamer card from your trash without paying the memory cost, which is kind of the whole gimmick of this deck. You're basically trying to load up your trash with the purple Tamer cards with stuff like Matt and Sora and Mimi, as well as Koichi here. So being able to get those guys in trash with things like your Wendigomon, who reveals top 5 and then you trash a Tamer. You've also got stuff like your Kokomon here, who when attacking you can reveal top 3 and then discard a Tamer amongst those. So basically loading up your trash, and then stuff like Antilamon helps you play stuff from trash, which is mainly Koichi, who's a 3 cost, and then these guys are 4. But I still think being able to play like Sora and Matt off of Cherubimon's effect is really insane, because this is just play a purple Tamer card. It doesn't have to be 3 cost or less, unlike Antilamon. And then for each Tamer you have in play, you can delete something your opponent controls that is level 4 or lower. So that it just helps you clear the board. Really nice control aspect. But I think the absolute best part of this card is he is a 12,000 level 6 who has a nice on deletion, where your opponent is just going to be straight up scared to attack this, because if they out Cherubimon, you basically get a soul charge. You get to, for each Tamer you have in play, you may play a level 3 Digimon from your trash without paying the memory cost. Now notice that is not color restricted, that is not restricted to they don't get their on play effects. So you have a lot of really good level 3s in this deck. I teched in like 1 copy of Lucemon because I think that is a really cool interaction, but then of course the main ones being like Bokomon and Nemon here, who are the new white like rookies coming out of BT7. These guys are really fantastic because Bokomon just helps with the consistency, just revealing top 5, add a hybrid or 10 warriors as well as any Tamer. So it searches out a lot of the deck because you're playing lots of hybrids. You're playing Loemon, you're playing Jaeger Loemon, who this guy is, oh my god, this guy is like actually I think like one of the best hybrid cards. Being able to Digivolve him on a Tamer for 2 and then he gets retaliation is just so fantastic. I mean, if you do have Koichi underneath him, otherwise like he has to have hybrid, but which is fine. But anyway, so he's really good. And then Rihimon also is pretty nice because again, he has that kind of effect where he lowers his cost if you do have a Tamer underneath one of your Digivolution cards. So like it becomes a 1 cost instead of a 3, which is really crazy. And then on deletion, if this card had hybrid in his form underneath the Digivolution cards, you can play a purple Tamer from your trash without paying the cost. I'm actually also just noticing that Beowulfmon is in the background of this card, which is pretty sick, kind of referencing the 2 brothers from Digimon Frontier. That's a side note, but I'm literally just noticing that. That's cool. So then anyways, so those are the hybrids, and then also playing like 1 copy of Ancient Sphinxmon. I think this card is like almost really good. So on Evolve, you get to delete one of your Digimon with hybrid or 10 warriors, which includes himself. Like you can delete himself and then kill one of your opponent's Digimon whose level is less than or equal to the dude you deleted. So let's say if you've got like a like a Loemon on field and you blow him up, and then you blow up one of your other, like your opponent's level 4, so he becomes like kind of like a Chaos Gallantmon in that sense. But then if you blow up himself, you get to kill opponent's level 6, and then he also gets his on deletion effect, which I think is kind of a really cool interaction. But regardless, he's a 10 warrior, so I thought he was just really cool and wanted to include him in this deck. But of course, the main boss monster is Cherubimon. Just being able to bring back stuff, and then you're playing your purple memory boost here, and then your purple Tamers as well. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it for the list. Let's go ahead and check out the deck in action. So, game 1, you see my opening hand there, which is a little bit awkward because I do have 4 level 3s, one of which is a Lucemon. But I'm just going to go ahead and start by evolving the Gabumon on top of my Kokomon, drew it into the Cherubimon there. So I think the best play is to just summon a Gabumon and pass turn at 3. So then my opponent is going to start playing a red deck. We see the Kapurimon there, and then we see the Flamemon come down. So we are going to see a red hybrid versus purple hybrid, so quite the interesting matchup. We see the Flamemon there, and then the Agunimon Digivolve for 2. Promo Agunimon is really nice, being able to reduce the cost of Ancient Greymon. And then finally we're going to see a Bokumon for 3 cost, revealing the top 5, I believe, and then you get to add any hybrid, which includes Emperor Greymon there, as well as any tamer cards. So no tamers, but we do see you know, a couple hybrids there, Fire Drake, Strike, as well as another Pokemon. But so we're probably going to see him add the Emperor Greymon, but nope, we see the Burning Greymon instead, probably indicating that he has Emperor in hand, or maybe his he's got a lot of high-end Digimon in his hand and he needs some of the lower levels. But regardless, he's going to pass the turn to me at 2. Now my hand is definitely not getting any better. This is one of the reasons I am playing Gabumon. I like a card like him, him and Demi-Miramon, who lets you just cycle through your deck, being able to draw 2 and discard 1 if you, you know, if the Digimon on top of him is deleted, is really nice. But unfortunately, that also requires me to have a level 4, which I currently do not. So I'm just going to hard play the Antilamon for 6. Luckily, it's not like the most expensive level 5, so it's not like, you know, leaving my opponent with 4 memory is not the worst thing in the world. But he does have the opportunity to go into potentially an Ancient Greymon if he does have that. We saw one in a security, so we know he's playing it. But no, we're going to see the Burning Greymon, and then if this card digivolves on something with a hybrid or a Takuya in its Digivolution materials, which he does have a hybrid, he gets to delete something with 4,000 or lower, which is really, really powerful, especially for just evolving a level 4. Like, for the 1 cost is really nice. So Burning Greymon, I think, is one of the better hybrid cards out of the new set, but I think, like, basically all the red stuff is just fantastic. So then we see Aldemon here, who evolves for 3, and he's got the inherited effect of where, like, if this Digimon attacks security, it doesn't check any option cards, which is really insane. So it's basically like a tactical plan as an inherited effect, which is just fantastic. So then he will attack with the Emperor Greymon, since Emperor Greymon does have the Blitz effect, meaning even if he digivolved and the opponent went to my side, he gets to still, you know, resolve his final attack. And Aldemon does actually prevent option cards, not tamers, so that's really, really nice. I get to just play my Koichi there and then draw 1, discard 1, so letting me fix my hand a little bit. I'm going to discard the Lotmon. I think there I definitely should have discarded the Lucemon. I'm not sure what I was thinking, but Lucemon, I probably don't really want to play him for even like a 5 cost. I think the main idea here is just to get him out with Cherubimon. But anyways, so I'm going to start my turn with 4 memory. I'm going to evolve my tamer into Jaeger-LOLimon for 2, and then he has the effect where if this Digimon has hybrid or Koichi underneath him, he gets retaliation until the opponent's and the next turn. So that's really fantastic, just being able to digivolve into my tamer, delete his Emperor Greymon, and then I actually also gain 1 memory because Koichi does have an inherited effect for a tamer, which is really, really sick. And then now putting me back at 3, I'm just going to digivolve into Cherubimon for 4, and then just use his effect to bring back the Koichi I just lost due to the, you know, Jaeger-LOLimon interaction, and then going to be able to delete a level 4 or lower Digimon on my opponent's side of the field. Oh, and then of course resolves on play, so draw and discard 1. So that's just absolutely fantastic. Again, I should definitely discard the Lucemon, but hopefully you guys will overlook that. So then I'm just going to be able to delete the Pokemon there, and it's going to pass to my opponent, starting with 1 and nothing on field. Puts me in a really good position, like him starting with 1 memory, not having anything on field, especially because I do have a level 6 Digimon on field, and if he somehow gets rid of him, maybe a Gaia Force or something, it will float into one of my level 3s, which is really fantastic. We're going to see the Flamon in the breeding area there, and then going to see another Flamon, that's the BT4 one, played for a 3 cost, allowing him to reveal the top 3 cards of his deck, add a hybrid as well as a red tamer. So we see 2 more Flamons as well as the Aldemon, so my opponent is going to take the set 4 Aldemon and then leave me with 2 memory. I drew into the mat there, so that is really, really nice, potentially being able to play that and then guaranteeing myself 3 memory every single turn, and just checking my trash here to see if I have anything I really want to add back, but lots of just level 3s in the trash. So I think that maybe the plan here would be to digivolve the Gabumon on up into the Loimon and then the Rihimon potentially, but first I'm just going to swing with the Cherubimon, which is super unfortunate because I ran into an Ancient Greymon there, but then Cherubimon does have the on deletion effect where if he is deleted for each one of your tamers or purple tamers, whatever, you can bring back a level 3 Digimon Cherubimon from trash, so it is nice that he gets the float, but it is really unfortunate that he just died to a security effect. So now I'm definitely going to just bring back the Lotmon Digivolve into the Loamon there for 2, and then drew into the purple memory boost, which is really fantastic, letting me potentially go through my deck and then grabbing a combo piece that I need. So right now, I think I really need something like a level 6, because I've got the Rigimon. I need a Cherubimon or an Ancient Sphinxmon or something, and Telamon would also be really nice, so I think I'm going to add that. Unfortunately, can't add the Pokemon or the Nemon because they are white cards and not purple. I wonder if we're ever gonna get like a white memory boost. I feel like maybe that'd be kind of insane. You guys can let me know what you think of that, if we ever got a white one. But anyway, so my opponent is going to bring out the Flamemon, or potentially not, but starting at 3, there's not a lot he can do here, I think, because he doesn't have like a Tamer on field, he doesn't have a red memory boost, so yeah, he's going to bring out the Flamemon and then just summon the Pokemon for 3, potentially trying to dig even deeper into his deck, getting a memory Tamer or something. So he hits a tie, Kamiya, the BT1 tie, a couple of them actually, as well as a hybrid Digimon, so we're going to probably see him grab the tie as well as the Flamemon, which is really nice, but I think what he needs here, since I outed an Emperor Greymon and we see the Ancient Greymon and trash from the security, probably needs like a level 6. We know he also took the Aldemon, so I think he's pretty much fixed his hand at this point, so we could see the Aldemon come down within the next couple of turns here. But he is at 0 memory, so we're probably going to see him. I would imagine him playing the tie for 4. Yep, so we're going to see that. So playing the tie for 4, leaving me with 4 memory to work with, but my opponent will start with 3. Actually, I do have 6 to work with if I technically want to use the purple memory boost as well. But unfortunately, still no level 6s in my hand. But I could do something like play the mat, grab back the Cherubimon, and, do something with that. But first, I'm going to evolve the Loamon for 2, draw into another purple memory boost, thinking of digivolving the Rigimon for 1. If I evolve him on top of the Loamon with the Tamer, I can evolve him for 1, which is so fantastic. Like, look at that. I'm already built up into an ultimate for 3 costs. Like, that's just absolutely wild to me. So then I'm just going to go ahead and swing security, run into a Burning Greymon, barely survived there, but even if I did, I kind of wanted him to die, actually, because not only would I gain the 1 memory from my inherited effect, but then I'd also be able to play a purple Tamer from my trash at no cost, so that'd be really nice. Just bring the Koichi straight back. And then I'm just going to end things off by playing Matt Ishida for 4, grabbing back the Cherubimon for the following turn. I don't think he can swing over my Rigimon right now, but if he does, that's fine, because then the next turn I can start with 3, go into Antilamon on top of the Aloemon, and then, bring back a Tamer, and then go into Cherubimon, and then pop some stuff and go off from there. And then now my opponent is going to start with 3 Digivolves. The Flamemon, I think the really cool thing about set 7 Red Hybrid is that you have access to like 3 different Flamemon, so he's probably like literally just playing like 12 hybrid rookies, which is kind of crazy, but that is also really nice because they're all just really fantastic cards. And then anyways, we're going to see the Nemon played for 3. I think this card's so funny, but he's really cool. So on play, you get to play a Tamer card with an inherited effect from your hand at no cost. So we're going to see the Takuya played for 0 cost. It was really nice because in the following turn, he can go into something like an Emperor Greymon, and then swing over with the Blitz, and it'll just be really, really fantastic. So, and then also, if he does choose to evolve that while he's got the Pokemon on the field, he will also gain 2 memory. So those guys are really, really fantastic in tandem with each other. So then we're going to see the Burning Greymon evolved for 3, and then he's got the effect if this Digimon has a hybrid or a Takuya, which he does have a hybrid, since of course all the level 3s in that deck are hybrid, gets to just delete my Gabumon straight up. But now that my Rigimon survived, I'm totally content. So then I'm going to unsuspend, start my turn with 3, and then you see I've got the Cherubimon in hand. I've got the Gabumon or the Gazumon I could evolve, so I'm going to evolve the Gabumon there, and then I drew into the Ancient Sphinxmon off of the Gabumon. So that is really fantastic, especially because now I can go to 5 with the purple memory boost. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to trash that for 5, go into Cherubimon for, I guess, probably, yeah, I guess Cherubimon's good, but I'm not sure why I'm not going to Ancient Sphinxmon. You guys can let me know which one you would think is a better move. I guess if I went to Ancient Sphinxmon, I could have popped a Lomon to blown up the Burning Greymon, but I guess, yeah, actually, because Cherubimon accomplishes the same thing. Cherubimon lets me blow up regardless because I do have the one tamer on field, so, but although at one less cost, and he's also got the floating effect as well. So I'm going to swing security for 12,000, run into a Pokemon, and then potentially swing with the Lowmon as well. Maybe that's not the best move. And then after that, I'm going to go into Devimon for 1 on top of the Gabumon. And now I've got pretty much I've guaranteed myself game for the following turn, because unless my opponent does something absolutely insane, I've got the Cherubimon, I got the Lowimon, and then I also drew into the second Lowimon in my hand, so then even if he outs my board, I can bring out my Devimon. I've got one swing from that, and then I've got the Matt, who I can evolve over for the following turn and go for the finisher there. I'm just going to go into Purple Memory Boost, and then add the Jaeger Lowimon to my hand for free off of that effect. So then my opponent is going to start with 3 memory, brings out the Flamemon. He's got 4 Digimon on field, so if he just rushed my security right now, he could get rid of everything, and then potentially go into like an Agunimon or a Burning Greymon off of one of his tamers there. So I think I was like in a very bad position at this point. I didn't really realize how close he had game until I was like, wait a second, like he's got the tamers, and that's the thing you got to keep in mind is like the because of the nature of hybrid cards, like being able to be finished by tamers is just so scary, and it's something you really need to keep track of, because I definitely was not keeping track of it in this game. But anyway, so he's going to attack with the other 2 Digimon. And then potentially just go into something like a Gunimon or Burning Greymon. I don't know if he's playing BT for Burning Greymon. I'm not even sure if you need that card anymore, because BT for a Gunimon is the same thing but just less cost, and then the new Burning Greymon is just the same thing but way better because it pops something. So I'm not sure. But anyways, so we're going to see the Monodramon, which leads me to believe he doesn't have game, which is really unfortunate, because next turn I'm pretty sure I've got game, unless, like I said, unless he does something crazy to completely out my board. I don't think he'll be able to come back, but anything could happen in these hybrid matchups. We'll just have to wait and see. He's checking his trash right now, so you guys will see in a second. That led me to believe, I was like, okay, well, he's got the Takuya, maybe he's got the Emperor Greymon, and then he could go into that, swing over my Cherubimon with a Blitz, but then Cherubimon will just float into 2 level 3s, so that's not really the best move. So Takuya does have that effect where you can return 5 hybrids from your trash and then like stack them underneath them and then evolve into Emperor Greymon for the cost of whatever that card is, which is a 4 evolution cost, I believe. But then I saw 6 hybrids. I was like, wait a second, what is going on here? There's a 7th one there, there's an 8th one there, and I was like, uh-oh, I think I know what's coming. So we see 8 hybrids from trash. And then you can also return tamers as well from trash, and then also tamers and or hybrids from hand. So then we see an Agunimon from the hand come down, as well as an Aldemon. So that makes 10 hybrid Digimon from the hand or trash. Will all go to the bottom of the deck. And what is coming, you may ask? Well, this is one of my favorite cards in the game, and I can't believe this was actually just pulled off against me. But my opponent is going to go into Suzanomon here. So by replacing a total of 10 cards that are Digimon, cards that are hybrid or tamers from the trash and or hand to the bottom of the deck, you can Digivolve this on top of a tamer, treating it like a level 6 Digimon for the 7 evolution cost. So that is really, really crazy, and it's just such an awesome effect. Unfortunately, in this situation, it was not really good, because if he killed my Cherubimon with Suzanomon's effect, I would have still gamed him. So he's going to kill the Lowmon. I'm going to swing with the Cherubimon. He does have the 1 blocker on field. So then I'm just going to swing. He will potentially block my next swing with the Devimon. He has to, actually, because he's got 0 security. But first, I'm just going to evolve into the Lowmon for 2, swing that into security, and then, he has to block, where both 5,000 will crash. But then I've got the Devimon on field. I've also got more hybrids in hand, so then I can just finish out the game like that. So that is basically going to be that game, and that was just such a hype ending, man. Like, even though he was able to bring out the Suzanomon, unfortunately he was just not able to close out the game with it. Okay, so then game 2, my opponent is going to start hatching the Kapurimon and then going into the Flamemon for 0, drawing a card off of that. And then the ideal situation here would be to see another Flamemon or a Bokomon, which is just a really, really nice follow-up, or just a really nice first turn play. Just being able to reveal top 5, and then we see the Takuya there, as well as all of those hybrid Digimon. That's the really cool thing about the red deck, is that like basically everything is hybrid, so Bokomon searches like the whole deck. So that's really nice. He's going to grab 2 cards, and then place the rest on the bottom of the deck, leaving me with 3 memory, but unfortunately, my hand's not the best, but I did draw into the purple memory boost for turn, so I'm going to play that for 3, and this is why I love these cards. Like, it just makes every deck so much more consistent. You see there, I revealed the Lotmon as well as the Gabumon there, so I'm going to grab the Lotmon, and then without passing turns, since I did start with 3, I'm going to be able to Digivolve that on top of my Kokomon, and then just, like, actually have, like, a decent turn now, as opposed to before I probably would have just, like, hard played Wendigo and passed. And then the rest are going to go to the bottom of the deck. But I'm going to Digivolve the Lotmon, and then probably I wanted to save the Wendigomon here because I was like, well, I didn't see any Tamers in those top 4. I don't see any Tamers here, so there's probably going to be a couple Tamers within my next few cards. So I think I'm just going to wait 1 turn and then go into Wendigomon, and then if I trash any Tamers, then I can go Antilamon, Cherubimon. It'll be really, really nice. I'll have the, basically like the full setup there. So then my opponent's just going to go into the Agumon and then the Aldemon for 3, which is really nice because he's got security attack +1, and then gains like 4,000, I believe, during your turn if he does have a hybrid. So I'm going to start with 2, Digivolve into Wendigomon, and then her on Digivolve effect, reveal top 5, and then I'm going to trash, I believe it's all purple Tamers, or from those reveal cards, you know, just send them to your trash. Oh, it's actually just all Tamers, regardless of colors. But I'm going to reveal 3, and that was just such an insane, like, that was so crazy. And I'm just going to go into Antilamon for 3, and then play the Koichi from Graveyard, and then use this on play effect, where I get to draw 1, discard 1, and then I get to draw another card, and then gain a memory because I've got the Lotmon as well as the Wendigomon there underneath them. So that's just a really, really fantastic combo. Fixes my hand, and it makes it so much nice. I really, really enjoyed this deck. I think it has some potential, and I'm just really happy they did all this fantastic hybrid support. And then now my opponent is going to go into the Emperor Greymon. Of course, he's got the Blitz effects, and then he's going to be able to swing. And then he is, I believe, no, he's still like 12,000, but then he's going to swing security, and then wouldn't you know it, I'm going to play a Sora and Mimi for free. Unfortunately, I don't think Sora and Mimi is like that great as far as like the dual tamers. I honestly think they're like one of the worst dual tamers, but it is a a purple tamer that you can play in this deck that is, you know, you can play off for free with something like Cherubimon, so it's really nice. And then of course being able to like suspend them and then discarding a card is really cool as well. So I'm just going to trash the purple memory boost, gain 2 cards, gain 2 memory, and then go into Cherubimon, and then Cherubimon's effect will let me play a purple tamer for free. I'm going to play Matt for free. Matt gets his on play effect. I'm going to grab back the purple memory boost and then reuse it the following turn, which is just so fantastic. And then now I can delete something with a play cost or a level of 4 or lower. And then now that I've got the Lotmon as well as the Wendigomon, I'm also going to, you know, draw a card, gain a memory, all that good stuff. And then now I've got the Cherubimon, so I think here the move is probably just to crash into the Emperor Greymon and then bring back a bunch of stuff. I'm not sure if that's what I was going to do here, but I really think that would be really good because I've got 3 purple tamers on field, so then I can, you know, soul charge, go for 3 level 3 Digimon, just bring them back and then get their effects. So I've also got stuff like the Bokomon as well. You know, in my trash in my hand. So I'm going to use Kokomon's effect as well, and then reveal top 3. None of those are going to be a tamer, so they're going to go on the bottom. And then here I was like, wait a second, since I can choose which one I'm discarding. Why am I discarding the Devimon? Let me just discard the Bokomon, and then here I'm going to swing into the Emperor Greymon. We're both 12,000, so we're going to crash, and then on deletion, Cherubimon gets their effect, which is for each tamer you have, you get to play a level 3 Digimon from your trash. So now I'm going to summon back probably just 2 Pokemons here, and then a Lotmon as well. So that's just absolutely insane, being able to just bring back 3 Digimon, and then both Pokemons will get their effects. So I'm going to reveal top 5 for the first one, and then add any of those hybrids to my hand. So then probably going to get the Lowmon or the Rihimon there. Yep. So I'm going to put those at the bottom, and then I'm going to reveal the top 5 for the second Pokemon, and then again be able to add a hybrid as well as a purple tamer. No hybrids, but I do get the Koichi there. So then I'm going to put the rest at the bottom of my deck. I'm still at 1 memory, so I can still do some shenanigans here. I've got the Lowmon and the Devimon, and just lots of other fantastic cards in my hand. My hand is getting so ridiculous at this point, and then of course got the memory boost as well. And then I'm just going to play another copy of Koichi for 3, and then draw 1 card and discard another. I'm not even sure what to discard at this point. I've got a bunch of hybrids in hand. I've got Anubismon, Ancient Sphinxmon. I don't really need the Gabumon, so I'm just going to let him go to the trash. So even though I traded a level 6 with my opponent, you can see like the advantage I have is just so much greater. I was able to put down like 2 Tamers on field, 3 level 3 Digimon, so it's just absolutely crazy. But I will say, I mean, you got to be careful about cards like Ultimate Flare and Tactimon and stuff that can just really blow out your field if you know your opponent knows you're going to be spamming a bunch of level 3s. So then my opponent is going to bring out his Flamon and is just going to swing into security. I am going to block it, so I wasn't exactly sure like why he did that, but then we see after that he's going to play the Takuya, so I was like, okay, well, he didn't have 5 hybrids in trash. The unfortunate thing is you can't really use Takuya like the same turn you play him. You can you can evolve into Emperor Greymon, but like he has Blitz, so he won't be able to attack if you play him and then use his effect immediately. So maybe if you had enough memory and then you could go into level 7 like Suzanomon or something after that, that'd be really cool. But he's just going to pass his turn by playing the Pokemon, and at this point, well, I do have 5 Digimon in play, but I really have like 9 in play because I've got all the Tamers as well. That's the another scary thing, is that your opponent just starts like accumulating Tamers, and then you don't really realize that like all of them can become Digimon. So it is actually kind of crazy. So then I'm going to start my turn with 3. I'm going to evolve my Lowemon for 2 on top of one of my Koichis, and then both Pokemons will trigger when one of my Tamer evolves. I can gain 2 memory, so I'm going to gain 4 just by evolving my Lowemon, which is so crazy. I'm going to swing into security, going to run into an Emon. Kind of wish he died because then I would be able to gain another memory, but I've got more than enough for game here. I'm going to swim with the Lotmon. That's going to die to security. Going to swing with the Pokemons. Now that I've used their effect, I don't really need them anymore. But unless we see, like I said, like something crazy in security, that is going to be a game, guys. So if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and let me know down in the comments what you think of the build. What do you think of the purple hybrid deck? Go ahead and let me know. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.